Hello and welcome to Tuner Tips by todderbert. In front of us with the ZIBOO 17B Pro Premium Digital Multimeter. You can find it selling on Amazon USA for right around $49.99. I'll have links in the comments section and video description if you so desire. An awesome tester. I really like this one. I haven't reviewed any in a while, and this is a bad boy. It's big and impressive. So let's check it out. ZIBOO Digital Multimeter. I love these names, but this is a quality meter. Loving it. Some bullet points there on the right hand side. Extra things on the bottom, 1 year guarantee. They got a 15B and they got a 17B. The 17B goes to 1500 volts on DC. So if you need to measure high DC, you go with 17B Pro. Awesome. The Pro, I think, allows you to use the clamp. You get the extra little strap that's optional. Over here, okay, so 17B Pro, 15B Pro. So they're fairly similar. Difference in price, $10. $39.99, $49.99. You can do temperature with the 17B. So that's kind of nice to have. I actually like the idea of being able to read temperature in Fahrenheit or Celsius, which is good. On the back here, just kind of goes over what the 15B Pro and 17B Pro do. Pretty much the same thing across the board, except for the DC voltage and the temperature I mentioned. They're pretty much identical. So contact information there. Okay, cool. Took everything out of the box. Let's see what we get. So we get to start the show. 17B Pro, nice. A lot of stuff in the box. Let's go over it real quickly. Some Chinese paperwork, warranty card, can't read it, but whatever. What else we get? A little brochure saying how cool your meter is. Yeah. But the neat thing was I was comparing it to the Fluke models, 15B Plus, as you can see, 15B Pro. They're kind of stealing the naming, price differences, but we're interested in the 17B, so let's see what they say here. Price, third the price. Okay, that's cool. It does a little extra DC voltage. All right. Amperage with the clamp. Okay, nice. More resistance. They can read higher on the resistance, way higher on the capacitance. Okay, that's good. You can see the differences there. So, yeah, and there's the big deal. So these Flukes, big money. You don't need to spend the money to pretty much get the same performance. There you go. So we get that. They give us an extra vinyl covering. Yeah, this is nice. So you can change it out if you want. Red instead of the orange. Now I put the orange on. It ships with the red on. And yeah, took and put that on there. I like the look of that better, but you get that. Pretty cool. So, hey, it's like a freebie. If yours gets damaged or something, you got extra backup. Okay, I don't know if you need it, but you get it. I'm just going to toss this aside. We're not going to need that Chinese thing. What else we get? We get some probes. So, we have a temperature probe here. So, you can plug it in. This is 39-inch lead. So, if you're wondering. So, there we are. What else we get? The testing leads themselves. 42 inches. A nice quality, 20 amp rated. Yeah, they're not bad. I like them. They got these little caps on them. I'll take them off when we go start testing stuff. Kind of like a little angle design. I like how they angle those a little bit. Was that 45 degree or so? Yeah, canted a little bit. And the quality of these cables feel good. Nice thick. I don't feel nervous handling these when I test stuff because I've had other testers where these are like micro thin and yeah, a little scary, a little sketchy. Or I wouldn't test more than a battery with them or something, a small battery. But you get the idea, right? What else do we get? We get the included battery. So they give us 3 alkaline AA's. Okay, that's what it runs on. Yes, it runs on 3 AA's. I wish it ran on 2, but it's got a big display. It's got a nice backlight, so I can see why they went with 3 AA batteries. So you get those already, which is nice. No batteries required to start. And then we get our manual here. It's a fold-out deal, so let's just go ahead and flip it out and run this over on camera for posterity's sake. So I'll just kind of slowly go across here. Safety information, general technical indicator, overview. We have description of appearance, what the little things do, and I'll try to cover some of that. But as far as what's on the screen, I'm not going to cover all those little things. So what's all the symbols mean right there? Going over to key functions, we'll cover what the buttons do again, and some more of the symbols. Here's some technical indexes, what the 15B Pro and the 17B Pro does. So you're looking at the second column for most things for 17B Pro, the one we're looking at right now. We go all the way to continuity and DC current there. Okay, we're going to flip this over. Quickly go over to this side because we want to do some testing. We want to have some fun with this tester. So there you go. Capacitance. Hopefully not going too quickly because I don't want it to blur. In case you got to stop and read this. So there you go. And maintenance. It's got 2 standard fuses in there. One's a 0.5 amp and one's 10 amp. And there you go. Cool. That's how you get into it. So yeah, a QR code probably takes you to their website, I'm guessing. All right, great. So put that away. All right, we're going to leave these two out for testing purposes. So yeah, we'll do the temperature. We'll do some testing, of course. Batteries we can set aside. Put those over here. All right, let's talk about the meters. So dimensions. Okay, so we have a 3.5 inch in width. We have a 7 1/4 inch in length, and then we have a thickness of 1 3/4 inches. That includes the base of these lead holders there. So 1 3/4, top to bottom. Nice. Size comparison. I always have some radios handy. I think here. We'll go here. CC pocket. As you can see, it's a big tester. It's a bench tester. This is really nice. This is something you're going to use on your bench for all your kit building. If you're building a radio, you're testing a radio. This is great because you can test your resistors, make sure they're good. You can test your capacitors. It's just a great all-around bench top tester to have because it does all these things. We're going to go over them. But yeah, fantastic. And a little bit more for some things you may never use. But it's always good to have stuff that you may never use that you might need later. Does that make sense? What else we got? CC Skywave 2 in the house. Sweet. Yeah, looking pretty good there. And then we have, what else? Deck of cards, right? Always. Iron Man. He's the man with the master plan. He loves Zebu testers from Channel Land. He has to test his suit every day, man, I guess. You get the idea. It's deck of cards, Iron Man style. Colors match, which I think is freaking awesome. But there you go. Cool. All right, great. So there you go, deck of cards. Iron Man out. All right, okay, cool. So this is what you're going to have on your bench when you're working on your projects. Worth the investment. I mean, you can buy a $10 tester. It'll probably be fine for years. But, you know, if you want something premium and you want a nice display, you're going to want this bad boy. So let's check it out. Features of the 17B Pro. So we get that jacket. Like I said, I put the orange one on. I thought it looked better. It's a little wrinkled because it was jammed in the box, like smashed in the box. But they only had so much room in the box, I guess. So we have a strap point there for that optional strap they don't give you, which I wish they did. That'd be nice. Here's our stand. So you can stand it up with pride. Look at that. Awesome. Back here we got some warning stuff. So yeah, you take out, there's a screw here, single Phillips. Pops this back cover off, get your 3 AA batteries, and to the 2 fuses, which are easily exposed there. Yeah, and then I give you what's going on there, so. Oh, cool. Oh, look at that. I did not know this. So you can run it on 2 AA batteries. That's kind of nice. So you just want to manual range stuff. If you want auto ranging, you have to do 3. That's interesting. Yeah, I did not know that. It probably says in the manual, too. It tells you how much I read the manuals. Cool. Good to know. Look at that. So if you're only got 2 AA's, hey, that's okay. You can manually range the thing, which means you just have to manually range it. No big deal there. Okay. It means you have to manually set it. Cool. So going to the front, we have a nice 3-inch display, and we'll turn this on so you can see what that looks like. Very cool. I like the backlight. Very high contrast here. Nice. So that's the screen you're going to be looking at. Light will go out here in a second, or you can tap this light button. It's got a little light button right here. So I'm just going to angle this. I'm going to zoom on down. Get up close and personal a little bit. So what we have here, we have 4 buttons. We have a hold, a range, max, mode. So hold is what it is. So if you find a value, it holds what the screen's doing, freezes it. Okay, that's all that does there. Okay, range lets you manually range. So that's if you're running the 2 AA batteries. So you'll be manually ranging everything. That's not a bad thing to learn how to manually range. So you know what you're doing. You know how to read the decimal point place. So there you go. You get what's going on there. 20 volts or 60 volts. That would be 600 volts. And then your max volts would be 1500 volts. Remember that, it's 1500 max. And then you got your 1 point decimal. Or sorry, probably 6 point. You get the idea. But that's how that's reading there. All right, great. And then this will light up red for when you're doing non-contact voltage, which I'll show you, and green for continuity. Over here we have a min-max, so if you're doing measurements, you can hold it for max value, take the measurement, and then do a minimum value. Tap that, get your minimum value. So then you can go back and forth. If you're trying to adjust something, that'll help you adjust. And then if you want to get out of this mode, just press and hold the button. It'll take you out of that mode. Here we have the mode button. So if you look here, you have different modes of operation. Right now we are in the DC mode of measuring. So we want to change it to AC. You tap this button. Now we can measure AC current. Tap it again. And we can do a hertz. I think it says hertz up there. There you go. Okay. So it's cycle testing. I don't know what it's testing, but there you are. Okay. And then VFD is your variable frequency on AC. You press and hold to access that if you need to use it. I don't think I need to use that, but it's there for you if you need to know that difference. I think it measures at a high for a certain amount of time. Yeah, gives you an idea. Okay, switch it back. All right, great. So pretty basic setup, right? And you can see what it's doing. This auto ranging. Get your little sleep timer there. If you turn this off, hold down the mode button and turn it on. It beeps and it turns off the sleep function. Let's just get that off there. Try to get my color back. There we go. So yeah, you can turn off the sleep function, which we'll do right now. We'll just leave it off. Okay, so the little selectors, you got all kinds of things going on. So we have volts, and you can see the maximum there. So if you look at the little symbols, I'll kind of zoom on down here. Can't get any close. So with the selector, maybe I can get the screen there. Yeah, there you go. That's a good idea. So we have 1500 volts, 1000 volts, AC. So you can see when in the different modes and value. That's kind of nice they did that. And of course the symbols there. AC is the wave. There's the DC. So right now you can see the symbol for DC. And if I hit that mode here, AC, you can see it's a wave. Waveform. There you go. Millivolts is the next setting. So we just click that over. And this does millivolts. So if you're trying to do smaller measurements, this is nice. I like to use this. And of course mode changes from DC to AC. Shows over your AC as well in letters. And of course, hit it again for temperature probe, so Celsius, and hit it again for Fahrenheit. And go tap it again back to this. Nice. Okay, as you can see, there's no auto ranging here because you're only in one mode. Here we'll go to Hertz. Okay, it's auto with Hertz. Some dust on here. Okay, so you can of course range that. I believe you can. No, maybe not. Okay, so we don't range that. Just that's it. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, then going from, and you got duty cycle, the percentage symbol. If I go mode, there you go, duty cycle. Okay, going over here in the center, we have our resistance. It'll auto detect resistance, continuity, or diode measurement, so you don't have to hit the mode button. It'll automatically detect, which is really cool. So I probably should be telling you some things. With the resistance, you get up to 60 milliohm, which is nice. Hertz was 1 kilohertz, up to 1 kilohertz. I did already tell you about the voltage, and of course the temperature was listed in the manual, which is pretty high temperatures, which you probably won't be going that high, but just in case. Going over here is capacitance, which goes up to 60 millifarad. It says printed right there, it's your max value. It's nice to know that when you're testing stuff. And of course, optional clamp mode. So if you go to here, you have your clamp mode on AC, and I believe it goes DC if you tap it again. Yeah. So there's the DC mode. Nice. All right, great. And then going over here, okay, and I think the clamp mode, it gave you the different amperages you can measure with the clamp mode. Okay, going over here is the amps. Nice, up to 10 amps, AC and DC. And of course, just change it with mode. So AC amps, DC amps. We're going to actually do some measurements, hopefully on current. We're going to try that. Of course, this button was our backlight, right? Milliamps, okay. Yeah, milliamps are going to go up to, it says 600 now. The fuse says 500, so I'd probably stick around under 500, so just to be on the safe side. There you are for that. And of course we have, of course, AC/DC and then microamps, AC/DC. Okay, and then down here is non-contact voltage, which is pretty straightforward. Okay. True RMS, I can say that right. So here's your lead hook points. So for your measuring micro or milliamp current, plug your positive lead there. When you're going 10 amp higher stuff, plug your positive lead there. Common, of course, black always goes there. And if you're doing anything else, hook it up there for your voltage, resistance, continuity, capacitance, temperature. All goes here. So keep that in mind because you can, cause a fire if you're not careful. So it's good to know. So let's have some fun, start testing stuff, right? And then we'll final thoughts. So I'm going to bring this up. Okay, so let's see what we can test around here. So I'm going to bring this up. First thing I guess we could do is temperature. Yeah, everybody asks about temperature all the time. I don't know why, but they got no temperature stuff, so we'll do that. We'll get our probe out, plug these in. I'm going to go to the, I think it does ambient until you plug them in. So let's change the mode to Fahrenheit because we're in the U.S. Fahrenheit's what we read. Sorry to you, everybody else in the world. Plug these in. So instead of 79, so I plug this in. Maybe we'll go up in value. Nope, it went down. So if I hold this, register some, a little bit of body temperature here. So high we can raise it. It's a love meter. Todderbert style, you get it right. So that's your thing. This looks like it's like heat resistant sheathing here. There you go, cool. So that's how that works. Very simple, straightforward. All right, so that's temperature measured. Okay, cool. Nothing exciting there. I know I didn't do anything with a flame or anything, but yeah. So let's look up our testing leads. So we're going to mainly do a lot of different stuff, and then we'll do current last. So we'll just hook up the voltage. So we're going to take, and I'm going to unravel these off camera because that's a fun thing to do because they're so long, and yeah, these can be kind of tie themselves together. You know how that goes. But 20 amps, these are really nice to have. I'm a fan. So I got these little caps on there. Take those off. And then we'll get to testing. Of course, you can fast forward out through all this. I'm just going to leave it on here just for posterity. Okay, we're going to plug them in. So remember, black as always goes to black. That's an easy one to remember, right? And this is important. Now, there's no light here telling what mode you're on. I wish I'd had that, which we'll talk in my final thoughts, but here we go. We're going to go here for most of our stuff, right? Okay, so we are there. So we're going to test some voltage. So let's, I don't know if it'll pick up my extension cord or not. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Let's switch over to AC. We're going to do some AC current testing. So we're going to, or AC voltage testing. Current. All right, yeah, we're not doing AC current. Okay, so, yeah, here's our voltage. Let's see, I think we can read it like that. We're going to bring AC cord in. Let's see if this will work. Okay. Gonna drop these in there. Hopefully no zaps, right? One at a time. Probably get a negative value because I got it in backwards. Okay, let's redo this. Go over here. Get a proper measurement. I don't think I'm getting a good measurement here. There we go. I think that flashing symbol is high voltage. There you are. 124. Okay, good. I think we can cycle hertz on that too as well. But I think I'll leave that alone. I think we won't do hertz just to be safe. All right, we'll yank that out of there without hurting myself. Okay, cool. So did that. We'll show you the non-contact voltage in a moment. You want to do batteries. That's pretty basic, right? So you just you'd be surprised how often you'll want to just measure the voltage of a battery. So like I have a lithium, or like I hear a 21700 flat top moly cell. I'm just gonna hold this here. You can read there what's going on. 3.65 volts. It's auto ranging, which is nice. I don't have to mess around, which I like. So that's cool. If you want to read a different battery type, I got a loop here. Yeah, looking good, right? You get the idea. Tested batteries. What else can we test here? So we have a hertz, which we're not going to do. We're going to go to continuity. I think, well, it's not going to do. I'm going to hit the mode for that. Okay, so we do have to hit mode for continuity just for this test. We're doing this. So you can see the green light lights up. Cool. So the time it turns green typically. All right. And then, of course, if you're working on a project, you want to check a trace. Here's a kit radio I have. I want to test if I made a connection between the FM antenna and the PCB. So we'll touch the antenna. We'll touch the board. And you'll be using that a lot too as well. I always use continuity when you're checking circuits to make sure you got proper soldering joints. So there you go. It's a cool little radio. I like this one. I don't know if they still make it. It's a cool radio. I like it. All right. So what else we got? Quite a bit. So we have resistance mode. So if I had auto, it would automatically detect that, but we're going to actually select it since we're doing that. So we are in a diode mode, which I'm not going to do diode. We'll just do the resistor. I have an old pack. I'll see how it reads. This might be difficult. I don't want to open it up. I keep putting it off because it's an old Radio Shack. Look at that, Archer. 19 cents for 2 half-watt resistors. Back in the day, man. Look at that. These are awesome. 10% tolerance. Holy cow. Made in France. I don't see that every day. So let's see if we can't get on here and read these. Now, it's 10% variation, and I think it's pretty accurate on that, too. It's 10% off. It's pretty funny. Let's see if I can't just jam these on there. Get a reading. Is it going to get a reading? Okay, I'm trying here. Give me a second. There we go. Oh, it just popped up there. It's the paper's in the way is what it is. Okay, let's try one more time. Get in the lead, and there we go. So, there it is. Perfect. 4.2 kilo ohm. They're supposed to be 3.9, so, yeah, not bad, right? You get it? Okay, cool. All right, what else we got? So we go over here, we got capacitance. Okay, I think I might be able to do it. A little capacitor, let's give it a shot. All right, I don't think I trusted this part yet, but all right, we got a little, what's this little dude here? I don't know what we got here. 100? This is 100 microfarad? Yeah, 100 UF. Okay, so note the polarity, negative, positive leads. So make sure you take that out of circuit too when you measure these. Don't leave it in circuit. Okay, I am going to make sure I'm black on black here. And I'm going to lay that down. And I'm going to lay this here and see if we can't get a reading. So what it takes a little bit, it has to charge it to get a reading. There we go. So it's at about 100, 109. Sweet. So there you go, testing capacitors. This is a good thing if you're checking for dead capacitors in a radio. This is a way to do it. All right, great. So let's go to the amperage. And we're almost done here. So yeah, let's go to, I'm guessing milliamps, because yeah, I don't think we're gonna go that high. I'm gonna manually range this. Yeah, I'm gonna manually do this. I think we're gonna be right around there, around 250. I think, yeah, we'll leave it right around this range. Okay, we're gonna test amps, and we're gonna move our leads over. So we'll do this on camera. Hopefully this works out well. So, common stays there. We're gonna move this one over to milliamps. We're set on milliamps. There we go. Okay, we'll do this on camera. Hopefully I can get it to show up. And off we'll go. So we're gonna try to do this without touching each other. Jam it in the bottom and touch this here. Okay, it's making some weird sound there. I don't know why that is, but that's about what I expect. That the radio is operating right.
Doodling books, a lot of coloring books, paint by stickers, paint by number.
Oh, I know what that sound is. That's the that's this transformer. Holy cow, that's picking that up nice. That's what that is. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. That's pretty funny. I was like, what is that buzzing? Is that the... Yeah, let's do it again.
Element that I think these kids were really deprived of during COVID.
Well, speaking as an adult who helps my kids make their Lego projects, there's something to be said about...
There you go. So that's the amperage. Pretty straightforward. Just remember to move your leads. Good to go there. Let's go ahead and do some non-contact voltage and do final thoughts on this tester here. So we'll unplug these leads here. We're done with them. Awesome. And then we'll just, throw it aside. It's a good little test. Yeah, first time doing that on the cameras. It's a little bit of setup. Okay, so let's do non-contact. That was that cord. That was funny. What's that noise? So we'll go over to non-contact. All right, we'll see how close we have to get. I'm not just touching it. So you can check for a hot wire in a wall, or if the wire is hot. Nice. Okay, done. So, all right, let's go ahead and just turn this off. Or maybe leave it on some mode. It's cool. Right there, DC mode, auto. Okay, great. So final thoughts, likes, dislikes, and overall opinion. So what do I like about this? The large backlit display. You can't beat it. I love it. That is great. You can turn it on and off, and it stays off. It's fantastic. Loving it. I do like the ability to turn off the auto sleep. That's a given. It's usually in most testers. What else do I like about this? I like standard AA operation. I like the fact that it can run on 2 batteries or 3. Auto manual ranging, the min-max function, very handy. Quality testing leads. These are nice leads, by the way. I really like these. Very handy, very nice quality. That's good to have. 6,000 counts, of course, does quite a bit of range and measuring. the optional clamp support. If you're doing amperage, like say on a furnace, you can measure those wires without having to try to bridge your circuit. You can just measure the amp flowing through the wire. It's kind of nice. Standard fuses, replaceable. They're just a simple standard glass fuse. So very nice to see. They're not mini. They're long, regular length. You'd see. And the quality build. I mean, this thing is built like a Fluke meter. It's built pretty strong. Looks just like one, too. Feels like it. Everything about it. Screams quality. Dislikes and wants. Well, there are a few. The backlight I wish was amber. I'm a fan of the... I guess white's nice in this type of setting, but I do like an amber light. On my radios, I guess it kind of goes over to this. That's just me personally. Illuminated probes. This would be nice if these illuminated to tell you where to plug them in. Don't forget, when you're doing amps, plug them over here. Everything else over here. It's pretty easy to remember. Sometimes you forget. I forget. So it'd be nice to see that. An LED light source. A lot of them have like a little LED, especially if you're in the car trying to measure something. You're trying to see something to try to see where you're going to be measuring. That'd be nice to have a little forward light or an angled light of some kind. I would like to see that. That would be nice. So that's just one of the few things. That's it, really. So overall, it's a high quality multimeter, 17B Pro. I mean, this one is spend the extra bucks, have something really nice. It's easy to read, and it's a multimeter with most modes needed for the bench work and home use you'll have. So I give it a recommended by me, todderbert. Rock on! So Zebu definitely wins my approval. 17B Pro, you can't go wrong with this bad boy. No way, no how. For sure. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Give a big like if you did. If you like the tester, give a big like. Let me know if you're going to pick one up. That'd be cool. If you like these videos and want to see more, hit subscribe to the bell icon, get notified. And of course, 3, comment down below what you think about the Zebu 17B Pro. Something you think you'd want on your bench. Do you have others that you like, you want me to look at? Definitely comment below. Tell me what you think. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in my next awesome video.